Warning: this is a scam alert. Warn all your overseas work or family and friends so they don't fall for this trap disguised as a movement to demand Philippine Supreme Court to force ICC to release former President Duterte. This signature-driven campaign aims to collect and retain your personal identifiable information and potentially use it for their own interests. This could lead to identity theft and other criminal activities which can land you in jail without you knowing why and how.
Let's talk about a security threat that has absolutely nothing to do with firewalls or malware. Nope, this one involves something way more common, and honestly, a lot more disarming. A friendly face holding a clipboard. We're going to pull back the curtain on an identity theft scam that is, quite literally, hiding in plain sight.
So picture this. You're walking out of a coffee shop, or maybe you're cutting through a busy plaza. Someone with a ton of energy and a big smile comes up to you. They've got that classic clipboard, and they're talking about a cause you actually care about. Maybe it's more funding for local schools or protecting a park. It feels good, right? A chance to do a little something positive.
You're all in. You take the pen, you're ready to sign, and then you see the other columns on the sheet. They don't just want your signature. They want your full address, your phone number, and then bam, the real record scratcher, your driver's license number or even your passport number. And suddenly, that little voice in the back of your head starts screaming, "Hold on, why does a petition to save the library need my passport number?"
And that feeling, that gut check that something here is just off. That's what we're digging into today. We're going to figure out where the line is, the razor-thin line between a legitimate, though, let's be honest, super risky data collection and a flat-out malicious social engineering scam. This right here gets to the absolute heart of the matter. This isn't about hacking computers, it's about hacking people. The vulnerabilities they're going after are built right into us. Our trust, our desire to be helpful, and the fact that, well, we're usually in a hurry. At its core, this is pure social engineering. It's really the oldest con in the book, just with a modern-day makeover. The whole goal is to manipulate you into ignoring your own security instincts, and in this case, a cause you believe in is the perfect tool to pry open your defenses. And these scammers have a powerful partner in crime, something called cognitive load. Think about it. When you're standing on a busy street, maybe you're juggling grocery bags or keeping an eye on your kids, your brain just doesn't have the spare capacity for deep critical analysis. You're distracted. You want to sign and go. Scammers know this, and it's exactly why they set up shop in these busy, chaotic places. And this just nails the paradox, doesn't it? Online, we've all been trained to be so skeptical. We squint at pop-ups, we double-check the URL, but face-to-face, our guard is often way, way down. That busy sidewalk is the real-world version of a phishing link in an email. It's designed to get you to just say yes without really thinking. So here's the crucial part. What are they actually trying to get? Here's the crucial part. What are they actually trying to get? This isn't just a random collection of data points. The specific combination of your name, address, signature, and a government ID number, well, security pros have a name for that. They call it a complete identity kit. And it's not like a spare key to your life. It's the master key that unlocks everything. And you better believe that key is valuable. On the dark web and in criminal circles, a full identity kit, especially one with that precious government ID number, can sell for hundreds, sometimes even over $1,000. The stakes here are incredibly high. And just look at how it all works together. Your name and address, that's the foundation. A criminal can use that to forge a fake utility bill to prove they live at your address. But that ID number? Oh, that is the holy grail. It lets them waltz right past the Know Your Customer security checks at banks. With that, they can open credit cards, take out loans, even file for benefits, all in your name. They literally become you, financially speaking. Okay, but here's the twist. This is where it gets really tricky. What if I told you that sometimes this insanely risky data collection is completely legal, that it's actually required by law? This is the loophole that makes these scams so darn effective. You see, in a lot of places, for a petition or a ballot initiative to be official, every single signature has to be checked against voter registration files. And to do that verification, the law might say you have to collect a driver's license number or part of a social security number. So you end up in this crazy position where you're forced to trade a huge security risk for your right to participate in democracy. So that brings us to the central question of this whole thing. We have to figure this out. Is the person with the clipboard an activist who's just following the law, Are they maybe just being really careless with your data? Or are they an out-and-out criminal trying to steal your identity? And this right here is the key to everything. The risk to you is exactly the same whether it's a legit campaign or a scam. That clipboard holds the same dangerous combination of information. What turns a risky situation into an actual crime is one thing: deception. The fraud begins the moment a lie is told. So look at the difference. A legitimate campaign's goal is to verify signatures for a cause they believe in, and they should be totally transparent about why the law requires your ID. A social engineering scam, on the other hand, is built entirely on a lie. Their only goal is to swipe your data for profit. It really just comes down to transparency versus deception. Now, these scammers have a few tricks up their sleeve. The most common is called pretexting, where the whole Save the Seals campaign is just a fake story, a pretext to get your info. Or they'll use impersonation, maybe claiming they're from a big, trusted charity to make you feel safe. And sometimes they just obscure the truth, using fuzzy language like, oh, it's just for verification purposes, when there's no legal reason for it at all. All right, we've taken apart the threat, the psychology behind it, and the criminal playbook. Now let's put it all back together into one simple, incredibly powerful tool that you can use to protect yourself. So let's recap real quick. Is putting your ID on a clipboard always a scam? No, not always. Is it always a massive risk? You bet it is. And what's the one thing that turns that risk into a crime? A lie. The deception is everything. And that brings us to the ultimate litmus test, the one question you need to have locked and loaded. Can you show me the specific law that requires you to collect my ID number for this petition? A legitimate organizer will be expecting this question. They'll be able to point you right to the statute. But a scammer, they'll stumble, they'll get defensive, or try to change the subject. Because their goal was never your signature, it was always your data. If they can't give you a clear, immediate answer to that question, you just walk away. It's that simple. The risk is just too high to guess. So, the next time you see that friendly face with a clipboard, you'll know exactly what you need to ask.